Hello, hello. If you're here for the first time, this is a channel where we speak about ancient wisdom from India, based or quoting specific famous passages from various, actually two main Vedic scriptures, namely the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, both of which have been read by millions of people in South Asia, especially India, for the past thousands of years, and which are claimed and claim themselves to have a very wonderful power of purification on consciousness. So if you're interested in Eastern philosophy, Indian theology, yoga theology, if you believe in karma and reincarnation, if you're worried about what happens after death, there aren't many channels out there on YouTube, especially those that give specific references to these wonderful texts in the context of the modern world. So please do consider subscribing. Today in the Bhakti Yoga tradition is a special day because it's the day when we commemorate the passing away of a famous, at least famous within the small world of Bhakti Yoga, saint. And I'm talking about a person called Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Bhaktivinoda Thakura. He lived in the 18th century, passed away, I think, early 20th century. A prolific writer, both in Bengali, even in Sanskrit, and in English. He was a high court judge in the British government, and he was, above all, considered to be a most exalted saint in the Vaishnava or Bhakti Yoga tradition. Now, when I started, converting, so to speak, to Hinduism or to the Bhakti tradition back in 1993, I was 20 years old. And I remember I read for the first time, I listened to the singing by Srila Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, the singing of one of Bhaktivinoda Thakura's poems, a Bengali poem. And so I'll read this translation to you in English right now. And what I find especially interesting is that there's a philosophical point to be made about the difference between personalism or theism and the big enemy. I say this sort of sarcastically, but also sort of true, non-dualism. And my claim is that you can't express the kind of emotions that I'm going to read to you right now if you're engrossed in a non-dual paradigm. So here's a song that Bhaktivinoda Thakura wrote. I don't know exactly when. It's called Amara Jivana. Amar Jivana. For those who are Bengalis, forgive me for the butchered pronunciation. Amar Jivan means my life, my life. And so here's the translation. All right. So listen to this. This is an amazing example of humility, and that's something we kind of need a lot more in this world. Bhaktivinoda Thakura says. Now remember, Bhaktivinoda Thakura is considered by the tradition to be an exalted saint, someone who's like liberated from karma. There's no question of him performing any types of sins or anything. And yet he writes this. I am an impious sinner and have caused others great anxiety and trouble. I have never hesitated to perform sinful acts for my own enjoyment. Devoid of all compassion, concerned only with my own selfish interests, I am remorseful, seeing others happy. I am a perpetual liar, and the misery of others is a source of great pleasure for me. So, how much can you identify with what he's saying if you actually scratch and look deep inside your heart? The material desires, in other words, the selfish desires, within the core of my heart are unlimited. I am wrathful, devoted to false pride and arrogance, intoxicated by vanity, and bewildered by worldly affairs. Envy and egotism are the ornaments I wear. 3 more verses. Ruined by laziness and sleep, I resist all pious acts or all pious deeds, yet I am very active and enthusiastic to perform wicked acts. For worldly fame and reputation, I engage in the practice of deceitfulness. Thus, I am destroyed by my own greed and am always lustful. A vile, wicked man such as this, rejected by godly people, is a constant offender. I am such a person, devoid of all good works, forever inclined toward evil, worn out and wasted by various miseries. Now, in old age, deprived of all means of success, humbled and poor, Bhaktivinoda submits his tale of grief at the feet of the Supreme Lord. Man, we tend to be like so proud of ourselves, right? We're like, yeah, I'm so special, whatever we're doing, whether it's spiritual practice or whether it's our job or our career or whatever, we think we're just so special. So it's good for us to read these sort of self-deprecatory expressions of humility coming from the heart of these souls who we consider great souls, Mahatmas, because they humble us and they keep us grounded, and they remind us that we're really not special, and we shouldn't think that we're special, and that if anything good happens in our life, we should be grateful, and like Bob Marley says, we should give thanks and praises. So today, if you're still awake watching this today on Tuesday, then we should pray to this person, Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and ask him for his blessings. Today's also the disappearance of Gadadhar Pandit, by the way, which is another great personality, even greater in a way in the Bhakti tradition, the eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya. And it's interesting that Bhaktivinoda Thakura passed away on the same day as Gadadhar Pandit. But so on these days, it's important for us. We should really take advantage of these great souls and pray to them, especially on their birthdays or their passing away days, with the faith that they'll be extra merciful to us. And if that happens, then we can get all the more blessings to move forward in our spiritual life while living in this material world. Thanks for watching. Om Tat Sat.